Like I said earlier, the 9th, 10th, and 11th are going to be gold, JRF, and Gridiron. I think looking at SF Niners, I think that's a pretty generous standing projection. Basically, with what he wants to do of rebuilding, I think he's going to be a bottom three team, and he could possibly change places with the Superchargers. Looking at the playoff projections for this year, like I said, it's going to be WWJD and Halababa. I just don't see Halababa, regardless of how good his team is this year, he's not going to be able to beat the Force of Ogre. I think he's easily going to be able to win that matchup. Rushing Renegades as well. Whoever plays those two teams in this first round are going to lose. I can almost guarantee that, unless for some reason there's injuries or whatever. They just for some reason have a really bad game. I still just see them being able to annihilate whoever they play. Tank Destruction, whoever wins that East Division is going to lose. I can almost guarantee that, regardless of who they play. They just aren't the competitive teams that they need to be, and they're the bottom team in the division or in the playoffs. The 4th and 5th seed, I think regardless, it's going to be a very close call. It could go either way. I gave myself the upper hand here, just barely. I think I have a little more depth at wide receiver, and as long as I can get, if Hillman ends up being something like Sproles, I would have to say that that fills my second running back situation, and I think that my offense and defense are a little bit stronger overall with McCoy and Breeze and Wallace. Those three alone, I think, are better than his core. So I think basically with the plan that I have in place, the bus will end up winning if I can actually get it done by the trade deadline. Otherwise, regardless, whoever wins this is going to lose to Rushing Renegades again. I think Rushing Renegades is going to the championships. I think I gave my brother the upset. I think he could be able to do it. It depends on if he's able to make any deals this year before the deadline, or if some of his rookies are able to do what they need to do and what he's expecting them to come with. Otherwise, if there's any injuries or whatever, I think that WWJD is going to win, and I think it will be the 1 and 2 seed if Bench has some injury problems or rookie problems. But overall, I'm going to have to say, regardless of WWJD coming first in the season, I have to say Rushing Renegades is too good of a team, and I have to say that they are going to win. I think so. Overall, I'm looking at first place being Rushing Renegades. The second and third place could be a mashup between Bench or WWJD, as well as the fourth and fifth place could be a mashup between myself and the bus. So it's a very close call with that, and I'm going to have to say that probably Halababa could probably pull off a sixth place finish with Anything Goes coming seventh and Tank coming eighth. Looking at some of the off-season deals, basically, again, I'm going to have to say Stone Cold, I don't know what he was thinking trying to get somebody like Peyton Manning. He's not a playoff contending team, and he's giving away a couple of his top picks. I just don't see what the point of that was. Looking at my deal, it's a very risky deal. Only a one-game suspension for Kenny Britt, which I didn't even know he was going to be getting when I did this deal. So, I mean, I should have done some homework there. But, again, it could be a very risky call, but the way he played last year before his injury, I know he has the potential to be an awesome wide receiver. It's just, can he stay out of legal issues? Again, this next deal I like because it benefits both teams in completely different ways. One's for the present, one's for the future, and I think it's satisfying both of their needs. The next deal as well. I think it's not a horrible deal either. Winning's getting a little bit of depth here, and Rushing Renegades isn't getting away any of his starting players and is gaining more picks like he's been doing the last couple of years, so he's going to have another strong draft for next year. The next deal, though, I have to say, I don't know what Winning is thinking with this deal, because giving up a first-round pick for a guy like Beanie Wells who has huge injury problems and isn't even a top 10 running back, I just don't see giving up a possible first to third overall pick for somebody like Beanie Wells. I'm sorry, I just don't see the value in Beanie Wells like that. I had him last year, and he's not worth one of those picks. Looking here, again, I'm a little bit sketched out with this deal. Stone Cold as well, giving up his first overall pick. It could be again one of the top 3 picks in this coming draft for a guy like Stevie Johnson, who is a decent wide receiver, but again not an elite receiver, and Sam Bradford, who is on the St. Louis Rams, and their team can't do shit. I'm sorry. So I think WWJD definitely got the huge advantage because he also got a backup quarterback if and when Michael Vick does get hurt. The next deal, I'm going to have to say Gold Standard definitely takes the win on this one. Mike Williams, just, I don't know, especially with Vincent Jackson now, he's the number 2. I just don't see him being able to put up the points that he's projected to put up. He's going to be a decent receiver, but I just don't see it. I think Reggie Wayne is definitely worth Mike Williams and a 4th-round pick, considering he won in the 2nd round. Here's what we've all been waiting for, a special on the Stone Cold Laws Nation, a nice Q&A. Here's my favorite quote so far out of all the chirps that he's made, not even with the season starting yet. So, I may not only eat them, but blend them and funnel that shit, ... Texas style. I think it never ceases to amaze me, Laws Nation. You will always have something interesting to say. I'll let you guys read this by yourself rather than me do it. Basically, what I'm trying to do in the next videos to come is basically to do a Q&A or a video interview or audio interview with each manager, like just one manager every single week. I want to do kind of a GM or team profile, and that's kind of my goal. So if managers are wanting to do that, just let me know, and I will be able to do that. And basically, if something impresses me in that week, then you might be able to get that. Here's our usual trading block. I went through every team and asked them basically what they need and who their untouchables are, so don't even bother going for these players. Basically what I'll do is I'll tell you what some of these teams need, and basically for me it's obvious I need a second running back, somebody that will actually start, and I have a couple of I have a second and 3rd round pick that I would maybe be willing to give up if it's a decent enough wide receiver, along with some of these the players in my surplus category. Anything Goes is looking for a wide receiver to complement Andre Johnson. Also, you're looking at Gridiron. He's needing another wide receiver or running back for Reggie Bush and Julio Jones and Calvin Johnson. So he's willing to give up some picks and some of the players that are in his surplus category. Tank Destruction, I didn't get a chance to talk to him, so I just went by his trading block, and he needs cornerbacks. It's not a huge crucial spot to fill, but again, that's what he's needing, so offer away there. Gold Standard could use a wide receiver or running back, which is obvious. Sean Green could be replaced pretty easily. Winning could use another wide receiver or 2 or 3. I think that he doesn't need any running backs. He already has 3, so maybe some of those guys will be available, and he doesn't have picks, so it's going to be basically running back for a wide receiver or something like that. Dante pretty much says he could use anything. He could use another running back, even though he has some pretty decent running backs, so it's more so he needs a 3rd wide receiver to replace Antonio Holmes, who is on an atrocious New York Giants offense. So I hope you all enjoyed my video for this post-draft special. I look forward to doing more videos in future weeks, and good luck to everybody. I hope we have another very successful fantasy football season. Good night.